A very good evening to you. It's just gone 8 o'clock and you're watching the main news. My name is Zain Jamo. Good evening, Joyce.
Good evening, Zain, and good evening to our viewers. My name is Joyce Mabika. Susan Masona is on sign language. Later on, Dora Ngube will be joining us from Montrose Studios. For now, let's take a look at our leading stories. President Emmerson Mnangagwa pledges support to the Special Olympics athletes.
And in business, Kamasivi Mining Company commissions a modern lithium processing plant.
And in sport, a CAF African Schools Championship kicks off in Harare. And now for the news in detail. Chancellor of Manicaland State University of Applied Sciences, President Emmerson Mnangagwa, has capped 172 graduates at the institution's second graduation ceremony in Mutare.
After the academic procession, President Mnangagwa declared the graduation ceremony duly constituted before conferring degrees to 89 male and 83 female graduates drawn from the university's 4 faculties.
The authority vested in me, I hereby confer the awards of degrees and other academic distinctions of the Manicaland State University of Applied Sciences to candidates for these awards as listed in the program.
The best male student with 33 distinctions, Moshe Najnandawa, graduated with a BSc Honours degree in Applied Statistics, while Joanna Jimias was adjudged the best female student after graduating with a BSc Honours degree in Information Systems with 25 distinctions. The two speak on their vision to contribute towards national development.
To His Excellency Chancellor, I would like to say your recognition it inspires me to continue to pursue my passion with even greater enthusiasm.
I feel so honored to be receiving this award from the President. It is really an honor. As an IT person, I wish to be innovative and to make sure that many things in the country are digitalized and computerized.
Vice Chancellor Professor Albert Chawanda outlined some of the research and innovation initiatives being pursued by the institution.
Some of the projects are driver sleep detection system, whose overall aim is to address the perennial road carnage, autonomous vehicle assistance road detecting signage to also address road carnage challenges, Curious and Crafts mobile application to aid marketing of tourism and tourism products, and smart house security system. I am happy, Your Excellency and Chancellor, to report that the university has secured a number of grants from innovative research projects, among which are the following: development of pay collection leaching process of optimum gold recovery technology with an efficiency rate of 80% for artisanal and small-scale gold mining, and sawmill waste biomass energy valorization project with USD 56,000 support from Research Council of Zimbabwe.
The university is mandated to provide education in applied sciences, which include engineering sciences and technology, medical and health sciences, forest sciences, agriculture sciences, and commerce and wildlife sciences. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
Meanwhile, Zimbabwe continues to attract the attention of global investors, with executives from 2 multi-million-dollar United Arab Emirates and South Korean companies in the country scouting for investment opportunities. The company's delegations met President Emmerson Mnangagwa at State House in Harare this Thursday.
World Group, headquartered in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, wants to set shop in Zimbabwe. A high-powered delegation that met the President, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, on the sidelines of COP28 hardly 2 weeks jetted into Zimbabwe and today met the president at State House. Led by Mr. Rabelin Chumi, the chairman of the One World Group. Among those present were the chairman of the LG Group of South Korea, Mr. Kwan Yo, and Mr. Majimaji Ayeshi and Warren Thompson. The group is interested in 4 areas of the Zimbabwean economy, that is, tourism, mining, agriculture, and financial technology. Here, One World Chairman Rabelin Chumi speak.
We were very pleased to see the commitment of Zimbabwe to attract more capital, and we have given our commitment to the president that we are going to be part of this economy. We are looking forward to forge strong relations between our group and your country.
South Korean giant LG Group owner Kwan Yo speaks.
We raised the sort of overall value of whole nature that Zimbabwe has been preserving. So that's applied to tourism, it's applied to mining, applied to even fintech and all these new areas that Zimbabwe could take advantage of to take it to next level. So next level of energy transition powered by your minerals, next level of tourism experience powered by the nature of Zimbabwe, and next level of fintech and software opportunities led by Zimbabwe high quality human resource. So we are all here to back that kind of opportunity set.
The group is expected in developing the hotel industry in Zimbabwe, building 5 hotels first with 1 7-star. Also, it will partner with Air Zimbabwe, among other various projects they wanted to implement in this country. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, State House.
A government has completed the rehabilitation of 11 kilometers of the Wedza Mushandira Pamwe Road under the second phase of the Emergency Road Rehabilitation Program. John Nandara reports.
Motorists and farmers in Wedza district of Mashonaland East province are breathing a sigh of relief following the rehabilitation of the Wedza Mushandira Pamwe Road, which links Wedza district and Mashonaland East provincial capital Marondera and Harare. This week, the contractor Masimba Holdings finished rehabilitating another 4-kilometer stretch from Frank Business Center towards Mushandira Pamwe, as a result completing the second phase of 11 kilometers under the project.
Tukuna vapa bati gonera manje. So tikana ne urua mudzimba omutatakwara. Saka izvinezvi pada iso zvatinakira.
Mugwagwa wangu wakaipa zvakanyanya. Tsaona dzakanyanya mumugwagwa. Saka zvazvinezvi mugwagwa uyu tinoona mugwagwa wedu wakanaka zvakanaka zvekuti tachikumbira kudai waramba uchiita saizvizvi kuti upere.
Kunoku kwacho kwangu kusafamba mota dzakadzika sedzinedzi, but now we are having a good tarred road yakanaka yekuti mota dzese dzakwanisa kufamba.
Kana kufamba so kana ukadzibhadhara mutero aiwa apasina kana tu unofa utokasika kubhadhara bhozi road dzanaka.
Norima tine zvirimwa zvedu taitadza kunyatofamba zvakanaka nenyaya yeroad, mabreakdown pamwe taisvika zvinhu zvamambara bhozi inogona kufa munzira nekuda kweroad, but iye zvinezvi tirikuona kuti zvakufamba zvakanaka.
The scope of the project involves upgrading and widening of the 47-kilometer road from Wedza Business Center to Mushandira Pamwe Business Center.
The project has been divided into 4 phases. The first phase was about 14 kilometers, which was done by Department of Roads in-house. Then we have 3 phases that were divided into 11 kilometers each. And we subcontracted Masimba Holdings for the 2 phases, which is a total of 22 kilometers. Masimba has completed one of the phases, which is phase number 2, a total of 11 kilometers, which will soon be open to traffic. The outstanding works are only road markings as well as signage.
Other road construction and rehabilitation projects in Mashonaland East province include works on Domboshawa Road, Akchuras Road, and the Murewa Mandicheche Road, which links Mashonaland East and Mashonaland Central provinces. John Nandara, ZBC News, Wedza.
Construction of a 16 million United States dollar 5-megawatt mini hydro power plant in Masvingo is progressing well, with the project expected to be completed during the first quarter of next year.
As the Second Republic continues with its development mantra, a 5-megawatt mini hydropower plant is being established here in Masvingo at Lake Mutirikwi, and the project is expected to be complete in the first quarter of 2024. The project, undertaken by Great Zimbabwe Hydropower Company, feeds into the government energy self-sufficiency drive and has excited the community, including business enterprises in Masvingo.
Kutaura kudai tatuva nevana vamwe vakaenda nekambani inonzi JRG yakatanga ipapo vatove vakushanda kunzvimbo dzakasiyana siyana asi vakapindira mabasa ipapa.
This is going to be very helpful to the business because you know when you do have sufficient power, production and everything when it comes to business works on very, very well.
The first phase of the project, which entails an access road, is now complete, with works moving to the second stage, comprising the main civil works, which are expected to be completed early next year.
We hope to be finished by the first quarter of next year. We've had a few challenges here and there, but I think we've now overcome them. All the equipment that we expected from outside the country is all here, from China and from Europe, Austria in particular. The main civil contractor is all our systems go, as you can see at the powerhouse there. Everybody's in.
Government is working on establishing another mini hydropower plant at Tugwimukosi Dam as part of efforts to harness water bodies to close energy supply gaps.
Masvingo ichange ine 5 megawatts paMutirikwi, yova ne 17 megawatts paTokwemukosi, yova ne 3 megawatts kuManyuchi Dam. Saka madhem edu aya achabudisa magetsi iwo anokwana kuita 25 megawatts, chinova chirongwa chiri kusimudzirwa nemutungamiri wenyika kuti imwe neimwe province inofanira kunge ichicontributa national GDP.
Apart from improving electricity availability through feeding into the national grid, the project employed more than 400 people, including locals. Messi of ZBC News, Masvingo.
Livestock farmers continue to lose their cattle to the current El Nino-induced drought in Matabeleland South Province, and that has seen the country receiving erratic rains.
The effects of the El Nino-induced drought are dealing a huge blow on livestock farmers in Matabeleland South Province, with Bulilima district being the hardest hit. Despite some rains being received this week in some parts of the country, the situation remains dire.
Idamu leli bakithi lisikadele inkomo about 100 and something, 161 inkomo ezifileyo khona la. Yikho singathaba kakhulu nxa uhulumende engasincedisa njengoba uminister efikile lapha, singathaba kakhulu lathi sizimisele ukuthi sisebenze ukwenzela ukuthi sithuthukise idamu lethu, ukwenzela ukuthi izifuyo zethu bakithi ezifele onyaka kungaphindi kwenzakale futhi.
Idamu leli selagqibeleka, liyasinika ama problems, izifuyo ziyaphela. So
speaking at a tour of dam facilities in Bulilima this Thursday, the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water, Climate and Rural Development, Dr. Enches Masuga, said government is working flat out to address the situation.
There are 4 districts in Matabeleland South that are worst affected, and Bulilima, Gwanda, Beit Bridge there in parts. Then we also have Matobo. So we are on a blitz assessment of the affected areas. But more importantly, we are saying how can we put immediate measures to alleviate the situation. So we are looking at palliative solutions for now ahead of the rains, which is why the focus is on immediately drilling boreholes, because the issue is water.
The Meteorological Services Department has predicted a normal to below normal rainfall this summer cropping season. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulilima.
A local seed company is working with government to improve livestock pasture availability by introducing a smart pasture variety that matures in 6 weeks.
Amid the worsening drought situation which has depleted water sources and pastures, leading to deaths of hundreds of cattle, government has taken extraordinary steps to save the situation. Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services Minister Dr. Jennifer Muswere reviewed in a post-cabinet briefing this Tuesday. Measures such as the hay baling are currently being intensified.
In terms of livestock, the government of Zimbabwe has instituted immediate remedial measures, including bore drilling, hay baling, and enhanced disease management to alleviate poor livestock condition in other provinces. The worst affected provinces are Matabeleland South, Matabeleland North, and Masvingo provinces.
Already, government has entered into a partnership with a local seed company, which is working with farmers countrywide to enhance pasture farming by introducing a short-season pasture variety called beef mix.
The government, in the provision of pasture legumes, these legumes are a source of protein supplementation for our livestock. As we know, protein is a very critical nutrient in the diets of our livestock. So in this partnership, we have managed to provide to the tune of about 650,000 households who have benefited from this over the course of 3 to 4 years. Basically, they've been receiving seed packages which they've been using to grow their own feed.
The beef mix matures in a record 6 weeks and is mainly used for silage. Government is intensifying smart farming interventions in the wake of an El Nino-induced lean season in order to maximize agricultural production. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
And I'll give you the details to our leading story. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says Special Olympics athletes should get all the assistance from the private and public sectors as they carry the country's flag high. The athletes who participated in the June 2023 Games in Germany met the president at State House in Harare this Thursday.
Zimbabwe made its mark at the World Special Olympics held in Germany last June, bringing home 8 medals, that is 2 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze. Special Olympics are games of people who are intellectually challenged, and despite Zimbabwe sending a small contingent of athletes and sportspersons, where 176 countries were represented, with over 6,500 athletes, its medal haul was over 80%. The President, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, said the Second Republic will continue with its inclusive policy, leaving no one behind.
You can all count on the support of the Second Republic to safeguard, preserve, and promote the rights of persons with disabilities, including the intellectually challenged. The principle of inclusion and inclusivity in the National Development Strategy, and we are leaving no one and no place behind in that philosophy. Additionally, national policies and programs in our education sector continue to prioritize the provision of a conducive learning environment, special classes and health facilities to cater for disabled learners. To complement these efforts and ensure holistic development, sport, arts, culture, and recreation must be widened within schools.
The athletes going to Sydney, Australia in 2027 should be well prepared, and government will play its role in capacitating their training and needs, said the President.
I look forward to a bigger team and more medals coming from Team Zimbabwe, Special Olympics. That is at the next Special Olympics Games, which will be held in Sydney, Australia, in 2027. Riding on the success of this year's Berlin Games, I challenge the Sports and Recreation Commission as well as the Special Olympics Board, to start working now towards the next Games. Government will give the necessary support. I also appeal to the private sector and other stakeholders to partner with the Special Olympics Zimbabwe in their quest to maintain our excellent podium performance on the national, regional, and the global stage.
The athletes who won gold walked $5,000 richer, silver $3,750, and bronze $2,500. And it was all smiles, as even the facilitators and the facilitating team also got something from the president. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, State House.
In a related story, Zimbabwe's Special Olympics team is grateful to government for recognition of its achievements when it took part in the Special Olympics World Games, which were held in Berlin, Germany in June this year.
Zimbabwe sent 12 athletes to the 2023 Special Olympic World Games in Berlin, and the athletes brought home 8 medals, 2 gold, 2 silver, and 4 bronze. The athletes, who were officially welcomed by President Emmerson Mnangagwa at State House in Harare this Wednesday, were delighted with the gesture from government after it gave them bonuses on top of fully funding their trip to Berlin.
Kufara zvikuru ndekuhostwa nemukuru wenyika nekutendwa kwetaitwa nemukuru wenyika zvinhu zvinongoitika kawani mulife, ndinofara kuti mukuru wenyika realize my efforts etakaita.
Government, through the Sport and Recreation Commission, made it a policy to reward athletes who win medals at different international tournaments.
It's one of those milestones that the Sport and Recreation Commission, Board, and the Ministry have been working on. We finally have got our internal policy. It's taken a bit of time to really go through and say, right, what are our high-performing elite world sporting events? The World Cup for soccer, the Olympic Games, the Special Olympics, all the way down to regional events, continental events, and try and give them a bit of a grading. If we win a gold medal here, what does it mean? If we win team medals, what does it mean in terms of incentives?
Last year, government also honored top-performing athletes who represent the country at the 2022 African Union Sports Council Region 5 Youth Games in Malawi. Meanwhile, Parliament will continue to advocate for more resources to be availed to athletes with intellectual disabilities.
I want to congratulate His Excellency for recognizing this special talent that we have. It is a step ahead. It's very important so that people are encouraged. Disability is not inability.
The next Special Olympics World Games will be held in Sydney, Australia in 2027. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Harare.
A government has pledged to harmonize processes to regularize more private schools amid revelations that over 100 schools are operating illegally.
Zimbabwe Independent Schools met with the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Honorable Torai Moyo, in Harare this Thursday to map out strategies that enhance the education sector in the face of an increasing population. Their clarion call is for the review of legislation that looks at school size and regulation of some players to address the infrastructure gap.
We work closely together with the government officials, especially the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, in regularizing our operations. Because if we are regularized, it also means we're going to pay tax to government. Government can also come and supervise us. We are not here to advocate for lawlessness in Zimbabwe.
Children are being born, but the land is not increasing. Therefore, as a nation, we must look at how we can carry out densification. You build going upwards. You are supposed to adopt strategies from countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai.
So maybe the minister is also mesmerized and has promised that these laws are going to be ameliorated or improved.
The government will revisit the requirements for the registration of schools or colleges. It means that gap is going to be filled because we'll have more colleges or schools.
Government reviewed it is harmonizing processes to regularize more schools.
Our ministry, ladies and gentlemen, is disturbed by the fact that more than 100 colleges in Zimbabwe were or are operating without registration certificates. I note you have raised the issue of school land size and regulations. The issue is receiving due attention as a review on the policy is under review. In fact, the ministry is to develop the school infrastructure policy and review the minimum functionality standards.
With government indicating a deficit of nearly 3,000 primary and secondary schools countrywide, education experts believe public-private partnerships will be key to expanding education infrastructure. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
The ZANU-PF Central Committee meeting, which was set to be held this Friday, has been postponed to Thursday next week. In a statement, acting ZANU-PF Secretary General Comrade Patrick Chinamasa said the meeting will now be held on Thursday, 21st of December at the ZANU-PF headquarters in Harare. He urged Central Committee members to be seated by 9:45 a.m.
The First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa has been named patron of the Heritage Village, one of the landmark facilities being established at the Liberation City. More from Colette Musanyera.
In recognition of her sterling efforts in reviving the country's traditional values and norms, the Institute of African Knowledge Instac Board of Trustees has appointed First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa as patron of the Heritage Village, a facility at the Museum of African Liberation which showcases Africa's cultural identity through arts, fashion and traditional food. This Wednesday, Ame Mnangagwa met with various stakeholders including the Ministries of Tourism and Hospitality Industry and Environment, Climate and Wildlife, Environmental Management Agency, EMA, Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, ZTA, and Instac in a first-of-its-kind encounter to map the way forward in developing the site into a top-of-the-range tourist hub. Dr. Mnangagwa called for a multi-stakeholder approach to ensure the landmark project and legacy for future generations is a success.
I welcome you to the office where I operate from. We want to come up with some solutions, but putting our heads together, because this is a new thing altogether in our country. Don't forget we have generations. We need to sit down now at that place so that our history is not distorted. Me as patron of that place, I want to see the whole life that we live, and I want children from high density and low density to come and learn our culture.
Instac Chief Executive Officer Ambassador Kwame Mzawazi highlighted they found it befitting for Amai Mnangagwa to lead the process of reviving the African culture at the Heritage Village, as she has demonstrated unquestionable commitment towards the promotion and preservation of the country's culture.
Today we met with the First Lady, first of all, to offer our appreciation for the First Lady accepting to become the patron of the Heritage Village, which is one of the facilities in the Liberation City. The First Lady has become the patron of the Heritage Village, which was an initiative of the Board of Trustees of the Institute of African Knowledge, led by our chairman, Professor Sembimbako, and other 6 trustees from various African countries that found it fit to say Amai must lead the process of the revival of the African spirit, African culture, African heritage. This aspect focuses on culture, on heritage, on our history and who we are as a people.
The Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Barbara Rhodzi, commended the First Lady for the key role she has played in the preservation and promotion of traditional culture and values through her numerous programs, which include Nanga Gota Iciba, which have positively impacted lives of both the young and old. She underscored the importance of the African village in contributing to the country's tourism growth and gross domestic product.
Following what you have just said, Amai, unuwedu culture yedu, ma customs yedu, ni maitiro edu emno Zimbabwe. Ndo zvinoda kuverengwa pa African Museum. Kubva tichipinda nema activities esachawanikwa imomo ne kuspenda time kuchaitika ikoko. While these people are experiencing our history, experiencing our customs and culture, but we also want to aim kuti vanhu vaspende more than kungoya museum oyenda. Same ministry, takabatana neve Ministry of Environment. What else can we do that contributes to our GDP? Pane hotera ikuvakwa ipapo, pane mamwe activities ekuti panoitwa ziplining, panoitwa amusement park. Toda kuita yetinoti tourism village. Panouya mai wachita nangane gota. Pabasa ramaita, Your Excellency. Ever since you became a First Lady, it has an impact in our society.
In light of Dr. Mnangagwa's vision of having medicinal plants at the African Village, Environmental Management Agency Director Environmental Management Services, Steady Kangata, lauded Amai for her initiative, pledging his organization's commitment in ensuring that the project will be a green development.
Our commitment as Emma Amai is to ensure that we make this a green development. Pamataura ninyaye ma plants and medicinal purposes or beneficial purposes. Kwatiri from the environment sector is not bad for biodiversity conservation.
African Village will harbour facilities which include courier shops with Zimbabwean sculptures, tourism information center, virtual reality shop, restaurants, and a 5-star hotel. The First Lady has embarked on several projects that have become significant in the rise of Zimbabwe's tourism visibility at both local and global level. She has been at the forefront promoting Zimbabwean cuisine through food festivals such as Amai's traditional cookout competition, which has since gone regional. The Mother of the Nation, who is also the environment patron, has advocated for sustainable environmental conservation and community development. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Harare.
You're watching the main news. Remember to visit our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw for these and more stories in detail. Still to come in this bulletin. In business, Kama TV Mining Company commissions a modern lithium processing plant.
And in sports, 2023 CAF African Schools Championship kicks off in Harare. The main news takes a break. We'll be back with you shortly.
Hello? Wadi? Wada gupi? Uripi? Inyanga? Uripi? Kariba? Oh, une boys. Uriku Victoria Falls. Kugrezi Zimbabwe. Chinoi girls. Macho Force. Itorizi iyoyo. Mu Zimbabwe. Irikunaka.
This message is brought to you by the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, Zimbo. Every journey leads you home. Uripi, Ungapi.
Nana Rhoda, will you please tell us the story of how you met Papa? Since it's Christmas, I will give it to you as a Christmas gift. Falling in the pool was the time that I realized I fell in love.
This is the right choice, Zimbabwe.
The season of happiness is upon us at OK Stores. Get your 2 kg Cookmore white rice for just $2.50. 1 liter Denderi Citro for just 90 cents. 2 kg Surf washing powder at $4.10. 8-inch Christmas fruitcake for just $28. 1.25 liter Chibuku for just 95 cents. Christmas is here. Kisimusi yashika. Ikisimusi isifikile. OK, my happy place.
In the warm embrace of my nurturing mother, I was introduced to her cherished choice of beverage. Through every joy and challenge, it became our go-to. Now that I can make my own choices, I choose to pass on that love to the next generation. I love you, Mom.
This is the right choice, Zimbabwe.
Enrollment in progress. Enroll now at Washington Hills Junior and Senior Schools. We are located 20 kilometers from the capital city of Harare along Bulawayo Road.
Here at Washington Hills Junior School, we have two curriculums, which are ZimSec and Cambridge, with our first Cambridge group writing next year. We also engage in different sports, which include volleyball, netball, swimming, and tennis. Join us here at Washington Hills Junior School and experience the best time of your life.
So just imagine an institution sited in a very salubrious environment where education is catered for adequately. That is what I'm saying, Washington Hills.
Don't forget, we offer boarding facilities for both primary and secondary levels. Hurry now for the limited spaces available.
Welcome back from the break. In our next report, the performance of local authorities has come under the spotlight amid indications they are falling short on social service delivery that affects vulnerable groups.
This Thursday saw community-based organizations and residents associations interfacing with the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works at a local governance exchange summit with focus on efficient service provision. While progress has been realized through devolution funds, the common sentiment has been failure by local authorities to effectively deliver social services such as safe water and regular settlements.
Service we are still looking for improvement. Panyaya yemvura because mvura kumatembisho chokwada isikuwanika asiwo panyaya dzekutakurwa kumarara we are very happy.
Matawindi mazhinji ane system yachembera zvakavepo kare hazina kukwanisa kuti zvishandurwe pari zvino saka neuwandu hwepopulation yedu takuita dambudziko guru in terms of water kuti isvike kwatiri. Tine vanhu vatatu vatanga tiri kutaura nezvavo, mayouth, madzimai nevanhu vanorarama nehurema. Saka tikona vane dambudziko rakakura kudarika vari able. Tikada kutaura kwa kuwanika mvura kunogona kunkurukure kana kuti vari kuungana pazvibhorani zvinoita kuti nguva yacho irebese.
Organizers of the summit believe solutions lies in collaborations.
This meeting is key in that we feel that these issues need to be prioritized. So we took this opportunity that now that we have a new minister who is now in office, as communities we also need to come and interact with the ministry and table our issues before them for redress.
Government noted that attainment of Vision 2030 is premised on development at grassroots level.
In line with the presidency motto of leaving no place and no one behind, if we have CBOs, that will be a national outlook in terms of consultation, participation, and engagement. And as a result, the country will finally achieve its goal. By engaging the community working groups, we are going to harness all the potentials that are adapted to suit local communities, not just in a uniform way. Local authorities are now supposed to adhere to national policies in terms of how they budget and allocate and utilize whatever resources they will have collected from the communities.
The Second Republic initiated the devolution concept, which empowers local authorities to spearhead development projects from the grassroots, with the recent milestone being the acquisition of firefighting equipment for councils through the Belarus facility. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
And that report taking us to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo. We now join Dora Ncube to give us more news from that end. So very good evening to you, Dora. We're crossing over to Dora, but for now we continue from our Pockets Hill studios. Kalope irrigation scheme in Hwange has become an oasis of hope for household food security as the country battles an El Nino-induced lean season.
The irrigation scheme is standing out as it projects a ray of hope in the arid Hwange district, with a thriving maize crop bearing testimony to the importance of investing in irrigation agriculture. Farmers at the irrigation scheme have nothing but hope written on their faces.
Mid-October, so to design ivura yomukhanala, so i-challenge yathina nayo ngwenu ivura yakhona yabe shoma mudamu but so to irrigation
kulima kwathi mulima nevura ye-irrigation kunoti bunch akasasiviri nokuti tosokwanisa kulima zvinhu zvedu especially sangweno sopenshaji wokuti akuji munevhura kana tiri nevhura mudhamu tokwanisa kuti tive wanaji mari jedu tilima zomanga zvedu zvakarezo zvatina nazo chete tavana neproblem yokuti hatichi nevhura mudhamu
atitolima malong grain tolima mashort grain ndo atinolima kutira kuti iyo patatengesa tawane mari tive chinja crop necrop
kuva ne-irrigation urokakatika kasa nokuti ivura ivhini yakava nandoro inove iripo yokudhirira so atitolirira kudhirira nevhura chete ivhini mvura yanaenda inosara mu-irrigation mudhamu then mudhamu kuva tizhurira tidhirira.
Government is on a drive to promote irrigation agriculture through resuscitation and establishment of new irrigation schemes and sinking of boreholes countrywide. A target of 35,000 boreholes by 2025 has been set to give at least one borehole per village. Mhlomuli Ncube, ZBC News, Hwange.
Oh, my colleague Dora Ncube is now on standby to give us more news from our Montrose studios in Bulawayo. Good evening, Dora. Good evening, Joyce and Zain. Many thanks for taking us on for the first part of the bulletin, and a lovely evening to our viewers at home. We continue with the news from our Montrose News Desk. Over 2,000 people who benefited from the Intwasa Presidential Input Scheme in Bulawayo's Ngeta constituency this Thursday have applauded government for empowering them with seed maize, saying it will play a key role in boosting food security.
With government on a drive to promote food security at household level and nationwide, elderly people who benefited were ecstatic, with the country having started to receive rains for them to plant.
Ukuthola kwethu inhlanyelo kuyasincedisa kakhulu, kuyasisukumisa, kuyasenza ukuthi sibe ngomama abahlakaniphileyo esingameleli obaba.
Ukuthola inhlanyelo sikwenze namhla kuzasiphakamisa kakhulu ukuthi sibe ngabantu abaziphandlelayo.
So linile khathesi kade singakwazi ukuthi lingabuya. So sigethile siyabonga inhlanyelo yena lesiyinikiwe ngegovernment.
Youth said the seed maize is also a starting point for their small farming ventures to help keep them busy and off the streets.
Kuyangijabulisa lokho kakhulu ukuthi lathi njengabatsha siyathola ukuthola inhlanyelo ama-input ukuthi lathi sikwanisa ukuyasebenzisa izandla zethu.
Njengentsha siyabonga, sithanda ukubonga u-MP wethu Mavhonga ukusupporta kubuya lapha. Lama seeds la esiphiwe wona azasiphakamisa kakhulu.
The newly elected National Assembly members for Ngeta and Bulawayo South constituencies said the distribution of presidential inputs is a part of government efforts to ensure vulnerable groups are not left behind in government's drive to promote food security.
Ngakhangela ukuthi silama groups amaningi aswelayo okuthiwa ngama-vulnerable groups, ngakhangela ogogo, okhulu, intandane, abafelokazi bafuna uncedo olukhulu ukuthi betholakale besiyahlanyela, bethole yona impuphu ebancedayo ukuthi bephile bedle.
Giving to the vulnerable families in community, so it can help them to sustain the family.
Every farmer is being urged to embrace the principles of Pfumbuza Intwasa of mulching to conserve moisture, since the country anticipates normal to below normal rainfall this summer cropping season.
Public transport operators have pledged to continuously train their drivers on attitude change as a measure to reduce road carnage.
As the nation gears up for the festive season, which is normally characterized by high traffic flow and several activities, as the majority travels long distances to spend time with their loved ones, road carnage remains a major worry. Statistics from the Zimbabwe Republic Police show that the last festive season witnessed a surge of road traffic accidents and deaths as compared to the previous festive season, when 1,914 road traffic accidents and 102 deaths were recorded. In light of these statistics, the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe this Thursday launched the festive season road safety campaign, which saw stakeholders pledging to play a role towards saving lives.
Iko zvino tiri kuona kuti mabhasis edu emamembers edu ese anofanira kunge agadzirwa ave roadworthy. Mabhasis ose ari kufanira kuenda pamugwagwa ave certified neVID. That's program number 1 yatiri kufamba nayo. Then tiri kutraina zvakare madrivers edu panyaya ye-attitude change. Toda kuti madrivers edu agone kufamba nevanhu zvakanaka.
We have made sure that our vehicles have got the passenger insurance, have got the roadworthiness certificate of fitness from the VID. Our vehicles have got the Zinara. Our vehicles have got the rank discs. Why is it that I've mentioned this? Vehicles without these papers, they are causing problems, actually accidents.
ZRP National Spokesperson Assistant Commissioner Ponyat says they will not hesitate to impound unroadworthy vehicles.
The police will therefore ensure that all defective or unroadworthy vehicles are impounded for the safety of travelers. It's not being cruel when we do this. I know people, they are saying, mapurisa muri kubata motikari muchiburutsa vanhu saka munoti vanhu vanoenda nei. But surely how do you take this? A Honda Fit, Honorable Sako was complaining, unowana ine vanhu 4 kumberi vakaita kutsikirirana. Then you ask yourselves, are these people serious? We also want to urge motorists, particularly public vehicle operators, to minimize night driving.
Deputy Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development Honorable Joshua Sako challenged the public transport operators to honor their pledge.
Our appeal is to the motoring public of Zimbabwe that as we go into the festive season, we exercise discipline, we avoid alcohol abuse, we really have patience on the roads, whether it's drivers, whether it's passengers, whether it's pedestrians, ultimately to save lives and reduce road carnage.
To reduce road carnage, government is in the process of revising certain pieces of legislation to come up with stiffer penalties for motorists who cause fatal road traffic accidents as a result of negligence, while rehabilitation and construction of the roads is underway countrywide. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Government and its partners have pledged to scale up interventions to control the spread of cholera, whose cases remain high in Manicaland province.
While cholera cases have declined in other provinces, the situation is different in Manicaland province, which has recorded more than 4,400 cases and cumulative deaths of 123 people. The situation has prompted the Minister of Health and Child Care, Dr. Douglas Mombeshora, to this Wednesday visit the Zvipiripiri area in Mutare Rural, that is one of the cholera hotspots in the province.
Mutare district has got the rural component and an urban component. But we are worried why I came here is because we continue to have so many cases coming from especially this place, Zvipiripiri and Chiadzwa. What we have found on the ground is that water, clean water for use for cooking and drinking is actually needed. They said 22% of the water that is available is clean water. The rest is not clean water. And also issues of sanitation, we are at 38% in this district. Now, if you combine poor clean water supply and poor sanitation, that's a recipe for cholera.
Progress has been recorded under health education engagements, with members of the apostolic sects increasing their compliance with regards to seeking medical services. Traditional leaders and development partners are part of the fight against cholera.
Vanhu vakambofa chaizvo vasikakwanisi kunga vachiuya kubatsirwa pano zviri maringe nechitendero chepostori vanonzi musarapwa kuhospital unoumbiwa naMwari chete, asi vanhu vakaramba vachidzidziswa kuti zvinodayo munozongoreurira mechiitwa sei. Vazhinji vakungouya, vamwewo vashoma vachikuresista.
A couple of weeks ago, the Permanent Secretary to Ministry of Health gave us a deadline to contain the cholera outbreak in the country. It was 15 December. That's why we have accelerated our support to the Ministry of Health, providing these big treatment centers for cholera.
In Manicaland province, Buyera and Mutare Rural are the most affected areas that are still recording high cholera cases. So far, the country recorded about 12,000 suspected cholera cases, with Manicaland recording the highest number with 4,419 suspected cases, followed by Harare at 4,157 suspected cases. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
And that report taking us back to Joyce and Zane, who are at our Pocketel studios for more news. Thank you, Dora, and the team at Montrose Studios. From Bulawayo, we go regional to the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, where it is barely a week before more than 40 million eligible voters cast their ballots in an election where more than 20 candidates, including the incumbent president, Felix Tshisekedi, are vying for the top job.
The streets of the DRC capital, Kinshasa, are filled with banners of candidates seeking the electorate's vote come December 20. As one moves around, the atmosphere is alive that come next week Wednesday, the people of the DRC will vote for a president, members of parliament, municipal, communal, and urban councillors.
I'm very happy about that election. Actually, what is the most good in that election, like we used to have election and there's a lot of trouble even in the town. But this time around, you can see Tshisekedi people are aside, Moise Katumbi people are aside, Dr. Mukwege's people are this side. But everyone is doing his campaign in the peace. I can say they did a good job.
The DRC Minister of Finance, Mr. Nicolas Kazadi, says the conflict in the DRC has caused a slump in economic development of the country, despite an increase of investment from 1% in 2018 to the current 15%.
The President clearly made it very clear that he would fight this situation with a lot of tools. One is diplomacy, the other one is economic cooperation, another one is also military, and he tried all of them, showing his very goodwill to continue to cooperate with the neighbors. And the biggest move he made was for the country to enter the East African community, to share prosperity with those countries instead of fighting each other.
The country's Information and Communication Minister, Mr. Patrick Luyaya, says hope now lies in the Luanda Agreement of November 2023.
We need to find a regional solutions about the situation in the East. We have what we call Luanda Roadmap. In French, we call it FREDO, which is a master plan. We define the whole of each organization so we can make sure if we did the implementation, we do the implementation of it, we can reach the objective of peace.
Many areas are pertinent in this year's DRC election, and these include end to persistent insecurity, creation of jobs, and access to basic services, along with efficiency in the public services. Olina Ndori, ZBC News, Kinshasa.
The main news takes a break. We'll be back with you and we'll take you through business news.
Murewa. Namzu. Sasa yeye kunaka anditika.
Saka sei usiri kudya huku.
Mashura.
Salsa nakapfura huku.
why badna sadza iri rakabikwa nechibage che-National Tested Seed. Ndosaka mamaster farmer achienda ku-National Tested Seed.
Shandisa imbeu dzemaguta NTS 51, NTS 45 kana NTS 43. Imbeu zine early to medium maturity dzinokupa goho vakuru up to 10 tons per hectare. Zvakare ine high drought resistance. Manya pachitoro chiri pedyo newe ubate yako. Shandisa mbeu yesadza. National Tested Seed. Mbeu yehurudza.
Christmas is here. Buy bulk and save this Christmas at OK Mart. Get your 10 by 2 kg Azam self-raising flour for just $19.80. 6 by 1 litre Life UHT milk for just $7.30. 25 by 750 ml Sunlight dishwashing liquid for just $79.50. Bulk Super 4/4 for just $5.60 per kg. 10 kg pocket of potatoes for just $7.90 each. 6 by 1.25 litre Nyati sorghum beer for just $4. Christmas is here. Kisimusi yashika. Ikisimusi isifikile. OK Mart, my happy place.
Alcohol may be hazardous to health if consumed to excess. The operation of machinery or driving after the consumption of alcohol is not advisable. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18 years.
Here's your chance to win your own piece of land. Enter the Gold Blend Land of Gold promotion and stand a chance to win one of 3 residential stands. All you have to do is buy one 750ml bottle of Gold Blend Standard or Gold Blend No. 9 whiskey. Look for the sticker with your unique code on the bottle top. Send the code as instructed on the sticker and you could be the proud winner of your own residential stand. But that's not all. There's more. 10 refrigerators, 10 gas stoves, and lots of t-shirts, caps, and whiskey glasses. There will be 3 draws during the promotion, which
Wildcat, untamed energy.
In the warm embrace of my nurturing mother, I was introduced to her cherished choice of beverage. Through every joy and challenge, it became our go-to. Now that I can make my own choices, I choose to pass on that love to the next generation. I love you, Mom.
This is the right choice, Zimbabwe.
Welcome back from the break and thank you for tuning in. We jump straight into our business news. where Kamativa Mining Company has commissioned phase 1 of its modern lithium processing plant in a significant step for Zimbabwe's mining industry.
This monumental milestone marks a significant leap forward for the country's burgeoning lithium industry and its aspirations to become a major player in the global green energy revolution. The new processing plant has a capacity to produce 50,000 tons of spodumene concentrate per annum, which will be processed into lithium salts.
Behind me is a phase 1 processing plant which was commissioned last week. We have started the production. At the moment, we are producing up to the spodumene concentrate, and in the near future, we'll be attaining to produce the lithium salt, as in the value addition from the spodumene concentrate to the lithium salt.
The commissioning of the $10 million United States processing plant is a new dawn for the people of Kamativa.
In terms of employment, KMC has really employed and they've really helped us that socially we are now able to look after our families.
Once a vibrant mine known for tin production, the closure of Kamativa mine back in 1994 created a ghost town which the Second Republic is resuscitating through the engagement and re-engagement drive. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Wange.
And that's our business update, taking us straight to the arts. And we start off on a sad note. A talented local musician Terry G has died. The details.
The Ndezhe Moyo hitmaker died this Thursday at a local hospital in Harare, where he was admitted. Terry G's manager Edson December confirmed the artist's death to ZBC News this Thursday.
Kuti tikuzivise kuti mukomana Terry G ashaika muzuva ranhasi munguva dzemasikati dzekuma around 3, so anga akaadhimitwa pane imwe chipatara chemuHarare munomu. Saka pari zvino vanhu vachange vakaungana kumba kwavo kuzengeza 3 kuchitungwiza. Saka tiri kukuzivisai mafans ese nemhuri yese yeZimbabwe kuti aiwa ndo zvatasangana nazvo mukomana Terry G washaika.
While there are no details on the cause of his death, reports suggest that he recently suffered a cardiac arrest and had a brain tumor. Terry had many physical difficulties throughout his life as he was born with cerebral palsy. He is also famed for his collaborative act with Chipo Mchengo Makafanana and Ndezhe Moyo. Patience Nyagato, CBC News, Harare.
Well, sad news indeed, and definitely his music will live on. In our next report, Life Matunzeni is representing Zimbabwe at the Miss Intercontinental pageant currently underway in Egypt, with finals and crowning set for this Friday.
As the curtain comes down at the Miss Intercontinental pageant currently underway in Egypt, 27-year-old Manicaland beauty Life Matunzeni is representing the country, competing with more than 70 beauty queens from around the world in Egypt's Sharm el-Sheikh city. A national costume competition will be held later this Thursday, which precedes the final competition on Friday, where a queen will be crowned at the same event. Countries participating at the pageant include Zimbabwe, Philippines, Vietnam, United States of America, and Ghana, among others. Meanwhile, at the Miss Earth currently underway in Vietnam, voting for Best Bikini is now being conducted on Facebook, with Zimbabweans being encouraged to vote Courtney Jongwe, who is representing the country. Zimbabwe failed to make it to the top 5 best appearance, which was based on social media votes earlier this week. Mongolia, Vietnam, Philippines, and Cambodia won the Best Appearance awards. The Miss Earth preliminary swimsuit and national costume competition is set for the 16th, with the final and coronation competition slated for the 22nd of this month. Patience Nyagato, CBC News, Harare.
Well, we wish the ladies all the best, and the arts. Taking us to a break. When we return, we'll give you the latest in sport.
I'm gonna tell you why my clothes look bright. I'm gonna tell you why my clothes look clean. I'm gonna tell you why they smell so nice. I'm feeling fresh, you know what I mean. It's got a little bit of oxy, bleach with a nice perfume that will leave your clothes looking rich and have you feeling good. Aloha, yeah. Aloha. You need to try Aloha.
Aloha washing powder. Say hello to fresh.
This holiday season, DSTV's got so much great entertainment. You, your family, and your guests will be spoiled for choice.
Always a tremendous atmosphere here. The treble winners are back. Shoot and score! This is outstanding!
Celebrate Zimbabwean cuisine.
This is good now. It doesn't matter who you're hosting.
We're family, and we can conquer anything.
We've got unbeatable shows for the whole neighborhood to choose from.
They just got better.
We're more than prepared for any assault.
We're actually great. We're really great. I can have my happily ever after.
Just enough.
all the time.
We are all about giving you entertainment of your choice and options that suit your family. So stay connected to DSTV for the happiest holidays yet. DSTV, it's your moment.
Christmas is here in all Bon Marché stores. We have the best selection of all your grocery needs and occasions this Christmas. Get your 1 kg Farmer J's drumsticks for $4.50. Omo Auto Washing Powder 2 kg $8. Glazed Christmas ham 100 grams for 50 cents. Heineken Lager Silver NRB 330 ml for just $1.50. KWV Classic Chenin Blanc 750 ml for just $8. Christmas is here. Bon Marché. Simply good.
In the warm embrace of my nurturing mother, I was introduced to her cherished choice of beverage. Through every joy and challenge, it became our go-to. Now that I can make my own choices, I choose to pass on that love to the next generation. I love you, Mom.
This is the right choice, Zimbabwe.
Welcome back. The 2023 CAF African Schools Championship kicked off in Harare this Thursday with 12 COSAFA countries battling for regional honors at Gateway High School.
The second edition of the CAF African Schools Championship zonal finals were officially opened by the Minister of Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture, Dr. Kirsty Coventry, while Confederation of Southern African Football Associations COSAFA President Atudi Almeida El Silva was also in attendance together with the Zimbabwe Football Association Normalization Committee Chairperson Lincoln Mutasa. The Under-15 tournament for boys and girls was launched last year, but Zimbabwe were ineligible to participate as they were under suspension from World Football Governing Body FIFA. With the lifting of the suspension, Zimbabwe moved swiftly to host the regional tournament, where the winners will go on to represent COSAFA at the continental finals set for next year. Zimbabwe is thrilled to be hosting the tournament.
This is what we wanted to see with the comeback of Zimbabwe in international football. And we're starting with our development age groups, with our schools tournaments here. So we're very excited. We're very happy to be hosting. We're very honored to be hosting, and hopefully this is the start of great things to come.
The 10-team competition is a festival of schools football over 3 days, culminating in the finals of the boys and girls competitions on Saturday. The tournament also serves as a welcome return to COSAFA for Zimbabwe, a nation that has successfully hosted several competitions in the past and a steady supply of excellent young talent to the region. Meanwhile, it was a day of mixed fortunes for Zimbabwe as the boys team lost the first match 4-0 to Malawi before rallying back to thump Botswana 4-1 and went further to wallop Eswatini 3-1. Head coach Nomenta Ruvinga emphasized the thrust for the tournament.
Development is key, and development does not look at results. And I think the exposure itself is a huge benefit, because the experience is that these boys are actually playing this tournament will be better when they go back to their schools, to their clubs, wherever they play. They will have a different experience, and that is very, very important for their growth.
In the girls category, Zimbabwe also lost 3-0 to Malawi before going down 1-0 to Botswana. The girls, however, rallied back to outclass Eswatini 5-1, while tournament favourites and defending champions South Africa won all their matches so far. A total of 20 matches were played on the opening day, with more 20 scheduled for this Friday when the group phase will come to an end. The winners of each of the two pools in the boys and girls competitions will then face each other in the final to decide their winner, who advances to the continental finals next year. Lawrence Tusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, from soccer, we switch to volleyball, where 3 Zimbabwean volleyball teams have made the cut into the quarterfinals of the Zone 6 Club Championships underway in Maseru, Lesotho.
Zimbabwe volleyball teams are dominating the ongoing Zone 6 Volleyball Club Championships running until the 17th of December after booking quarterfinal bids. Support Unit Naba and UZ Wolves made the cut to the last 8 and are hoping for a Zimbabwean affair in the next stage of the competition. UZ Wolves coach Jonathan Gawa is optimistic of going all the way to the final.
The teams qualified yesterday
It was ecstatic for NABA and UZ as they qualified after fighting hard to go through. Support Unit had already qualified after the game yesterday. They lost in the final game of the pool. So, but then they had already qualified. But for the other teams, everyone, all them players and supporters were rallying behind them as they were happy.
In the men's quarterfinal, Support Unit will face Correctional Sunrise from Eswatini. Naba Stars will face Scorpions from Angola, and UZ Wolves will face the Falcons of Zambia. All the three led teams, UZ Wolves, Support Unit and CAT, failed to progress and will play for position 9 to 16. Global Volleyball Association Vice President in charge of competitions, Brian Manuel, said the teams have managed to put back their woes in Zambia, which saw all the teams being booted before the quarterfinal stage.
I think it's a great improvement. Taking from Zambia 2022, we by this stage most of our teams in Zambia had been knocked out, but now we still have the three teams that are in there in Lesotho, NABA, UZ Wolves and Support Unit. So it is a great achievement.
The tournament winners will progress to the Continental Championship slated for Tunisia next year. Mtokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
And that's our look at sport. It's now time for the weather report and forecast.
Greetings Zimbabwe and a warm welcome. It is time for your evening weather update. My name is Benjamin Kwaramba. Well, the current cloud system that is affecting the country resulted in scattered thunderstorms in most parts of the country, and these were more concentrated over the central parts of the country. Now, looking at some of the notable falls that were received as at 8 o'clock this morning, Kutsaga in Harare received 44 millimeters, followed by Belvedere with 35 millimeters. Nkai had 22 millimeters. Now, turning to the satellite images received this afternoon, it shows again that massive cloud right across the whole country there that gave you the partly cloudy to cloudy conditions that were experienced for the better part of today. Tomorrow, we expect Matabeleland North, northern parts of the Midlands, Mashonaland provinces, as well as northern parts of Manicaland to be partly cloudy to cloudy with scattered afternoon or evening thunderstorms, while areas to the south, that is Matabeleland South, Bulawayo Metropolitan, and Masvingo, as well as the southern parts of Manicaland, should be under partly cloudy conditions with a chance of an isolated shower here and there. Now for the temperatures in detail, the capital city, Harare, expects a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Kobulawayo 20 and 32. Gweru 18 and 30. Mutare 18 and 32. Kwekwe 20 and 33. 16 and 33 is expected at Kadoma. Masvingo 21 at first, 30 maximum. 20 and 32 is expected at Chinoi. Lupane 21 and 33, Bindura 17 and 31, Marondera 16 and 29, 23 and 31 at Gwanda. Victoria Falls, minimum 20, maximum 32, Kariba 22 and 34. Great Zimbabwe, the ancient city, 21 and 30, Nyanga 14 and a cool 25 by afternoon. Matopos 21 and 31, Chimanimani 18 and 29 degrees Celsius. Day after tomorrow, we expect again scattered thunderstorms right across the whole country, but there's a bias of heavier falls over the southern districts, particularly Matabeleland South, Bulawayo Metropolitan, Masvingo, southern parts of the Midlands, as well as southern parts of Manicaland. Well, that does it in tonight's edition of the Weather Report and Forecast. Let's make a date again tomorrow, same time. Good evening, Zimbabwe.
Well, that caps tonight's bulletin from all of us here. It's good night.
Good night.
Ho, ho, ho!